Hello everyone, my name is Yves Delabroise, software engineer for Intervo0, and today we'll talk about fieldbus configuration. As you know, most machines with more than 5 devices now use fieldbuses, so they need to configure this fieldbus. The classical way to configure a fieldbus is to use a configuration tool. The tool will scan what's on the network and build a configuration file based on the feature you need, and then it can be used when starting the application. The problem with this is that the person that built this configuration needs to know the hardware, the fieldbus, and the application requirements. This works well for small machines where you have the same team doing everything, but with larger machines, which often are modular, you will have some hardware changes. So the configuration has to be done by the commissioning, which do not necessarily know the application or the fieldbus very well. To solve this problem, the application usually makes a maximum configuration file. This is a configuration that includes all the hardware that can possibly be connected to the machine. This way, the commissioning team only has to disable hardware. They do not need to add or create a configuration for hardware which needs to know which feature has to be enabled. They just need to disable the hardware which is not present on the machine. But this maximum configuration system still has a limitation. All the possible hardware and all the hardware combinations have to be known to make the file, which means the file and the configuration has to be modified if you want to add modules or remove modules from the machine later on once it's deployed. And it's also not acceptable for controllers or for integration options. This is when you put the machine in the factory and you want to add I/Os or other systems to integrate your machine with other machines and systems inside the factory. To solve all these issues, the option is automatic configuration. In this case, you do not have a configuration file for the network. Instead, you will have files describing what features different slaves support. Then, the application will request features from the different devices. And when the program starts, it will scan the network and enable the features if they are possible for these devices. And then the application can adapt itself knowing what's on the network and what features have been enabled. In this case, all the integrator has to do is to select compatible hardware for this machine. Our Kingstar product is based on automatic configuration. We have tested devices from over 90 different brands of hardware, and it's very popular with customers building controllers or robots. For example, when you have a robot, you want to integrate it in the factory. It will possibly have external I/Os or even a conveyor belt with motors. So the end user selects the hardware. And the robot vendor does not want to send somebody to do the configuration. In this case, automatic configuration is the most suitable option. Thanks for listening.